So Judith Fisher is one of the contributing lead author of the Land Degradation and Restoration Assessment. Judy, can you unmute so we see you?
Yes, I'm unmuted. I am unmuted.
Okay, excellent. So I think you should see the first slide of your presentation, Judy, and I'll pass you the microphone now. I will advance slides when you tell me, okay? Judy? Okay?
Thank you very much. And it's a privilege to be here to speak. It is a privilege to be here, to be speaking with you all. Currently, quite different to Bob. I mean, icy cold Canada, but my home base
Okay, Judy, we don't hear you very well.
While we wait for the next slide, I would like to. Oh, I'm sorry.
Judy, we don't hear you very well. Hello, Judy, we don't hear you very well. Do you hear me okay? I don't know if it's from my side.
No, it's very difficult, Judy. It's breaking up. The sound is breaking up.
Okay. Maybe we can try to reconnect Judy and we take a few questions.
Well, sorry.
Okay. I think as we are losing Judy, I think it's maybe I'll just.
Hear me?
No, I'm sorry, Judy. You're really broken, so we don't hear you very well. Okay. What I suggest, maybe while you are trying to reconnect, maybe with your iPhone or better connection, I will start a little bit of presentation, and you can catch up. If you hear me, Judy, I will start a little bit the presentation, and you can catch up when you're connecting. Okay? Judy wanted to explain a little bit how we are presenting the knowledge gaps identified in the web conference, to introduce them for the discussion forum, and to also identify how the structure is organized around main discussion areas and topics, so that we have some entry points for the conversations and the discussion threads during the first week and the following week afterwards. The idea was to provide some indication on how this web conference is relating to different levels in terms of knowledge. So it's also looking at data, information, and of course looking at scientific knowledge, but also other types of knowledge. So the knowledge gaps and knowledge needs, as it's been explained a little bit earlier, the idea is to look at what has been identified in terms of gaps in different levels of knowledge, but then to have a look in the second week at the prioritization of these gaps by potential end users, experts, and also policymakers and civil society representatives. So that at the end, it's relating the knowledge gaps to the policy context and targeted objectives.
Hello, Stella, I'm back. Are you able
Judy, excellent. I was filling in for you, and I'm not so comfortable doing something like that. Okay, we hear you perfectly well. Do you want to restart? Is there anything you wanted to say from the beginning?
Thank you. We can just flip through quickly.
Okay. Okay. So go ahead.
We have the definition.
No, we're losing the audio again.
Just continue.
Front of us, Bob has mentioned too.
I'm sorry, Judy, but we're losing the audio from your connection. It's all broken. I think I'm going to have to finish the presentation because otherwise people won't have any feedback on this aspect. I'm sorry.
If you carry on.
Okay, I'll just carry on for that. So the proposed knowledge gaps are organized around main areas of discussion. The first one is on knowledge gaps that are limiting the current understanding of status and trends of land degradation and restorations in terms of data, information management, monitoring indicators and scales. And we have proposed, the authors have proposed some topics to start conversations. These topics have, in some cases, some trigger contribution, and that's to provide some incentive for you to react and to comment. But of course, you are also invited to add additional topics if you want for submitting something else within this area of discussion. The second area of discussion is around the gaps related to drivers, causes of land degradation. Topics for these knowledge gaps have been proposed as well, and in terms of indirect drivers, direct drivers, and within these two topics, you also have some specific subtopics that have been addressed through trigger contributions. Some other areas related to the knowledge gaps are the one on impact and consequences of land degradation and restoration. The proposed subtopics for knowledge gaps relate to the ecological impacts and consequences, the consequences of land degradation and restoration for physical, mental health and spiritual well-being, and the consequences of interactions among land degradation, restoration, poverty, climate change, and the risk of conflict and migration. And the last one in this area of discussion will be consequences and solutions to land degradation and restoration for local and indigenous communities. The fourth one is around the facilitating factors and possible solutions for avoiding land degradation and restoring land. Some of the potential topics for that are related to the institutions and governance for avoiding land degradation, the importance and role of local and indigenous communities' knowledge and engagement, the interactions among policy and land and resource management practices to address sustainable development goals and other multilateral agreements, and the gaps related to models and scenarios of land degradation and restoration. The final one is related to transdisciplinary approaches with potential topics on human and nature relationship and societal changes, how to incorporate other types of knowledge, and baseline and reference date, and also a topic on the evaluation of restoration response effectiveness. So this is just a framework to help the conversation start during the discussion this week. And we hope that will be triggering some interesting conversations and that you will be able to feed on these different topics. Your expertise reflect whether those knowledge gaps have been addressed in some cases or whether you feel some other knowledge gaps should be also added to this. Okay, we wanted also to give you an idea of what could be a trigger point. That could be a trigger contribution, for example, on the importance and role of local and indigenous communities' knowledge and engagement. Judy has proposed this, has drafted this trigger point. This is very short, and we would like to invite you to also make contributions that are in a size not too large. Actually, the contributions are limited about to 200 words. The idea is that during the 2 weeks, the 3 weeks, we will be screening with a team of people. We will be screening all the contributions and try to extract some summary so that we have at the end of each week a potential result that can be feeding into the following week and into the last webinar. So the idea is really that from all your contributions, we are able to provide a result, a product that can be used as a way to advance on the thinking and on the work on these knowledge needs.